And welcome to the American Sim Racing Club's Frito-Lay Super Late Model Series. We're at the high banks of Bristol for the second time this year. First time where it really counts for points. But we are going to have 2 heat races, some qualifying, and a feature. Doubleheader night tonight here on Race First. Hello again, everybody. I am Gary Gatsu. Thanks for joining us as we are wrapping up practice. As you see, Brett the Jet with a 14.7, Cottle with the 14.7, Payne with the 14.7, Parmalee with the 14.7. Those are the only 4 in the 14.7 neighborhood right now. Ooh. Ow, just collecting the HL. The hijinks of what it's like at the end of an hour-long practice session. There's Easter getting some extra laps. Skip Gandy getting some laps. There's Papanow in the petty scheme. The new driver tonight, Nathan Henry with the Valpo livery. All right. Checkered flag is out, session is up. It is time to line them up and qualify. Josh Cottle in the 13, hitting the track right now for the first of 2. Up near the wall, getting that run coming down the main straight. Here's Daniel Parmalee. Couple new drivers tonight we'll see in the starting lineup here. Tell these guys are driving them deep into this corner as a squat. You can see the in-car that it is spanked so high, so steep that really you can't see forward in the in-car camera. Parmalee 14.8 first time by. Rogers a 14.877 first time by. Timing and scoring continues up. They Cottle 14.795. Drew Cox to the top 14.794. Talk about razor thin there. Minute and 40 seconds left. Here's David Payton. Eric Hahn. Brett Hahn to the top, 14.731. Brett Edwards. Racing Electronics number 52. This is his first race in the series. For joining us. Is done with his at 15, slots in 15th at a 14.995. Here's Andrew Payne. P2, Andrew Payne with a 14.783. Is there anything good left on those tires to get a faster lap the second time around? He slides it through. I don't think so. 14.777. It's a little bit more, but not enough. Here's Nick Fleury. On off a decent Triple Crown race, IndyCar race at Pocono last night. Nick Fleury slots in P6 with a 14.804. Michael Lemieux. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. I have some family members that have family from from Quebec there, and they have the L name too. So, as you see, we rapidly went to nighttime. And we're getting ready to line up for the first of 2 heat races. Looks like we have Gandy, Kane, Darling, Witt, Lemieux, Lewis, Smith, Parmalee, Cox, Brett the Jet, Gut, Loritz, and Eric Hahn in this particular heat race. Jackson Lewis, I believe, is going to be the shotgun driver this week, so we'll see if he'll drop to the back. As everyone's getting gridded up here for the first of 2 heat races to determine how they will line up for tonight's feature. They'll get them going quick. We got 1 to green. Very slow lap coming around here. We're here in Bristol. 36 degrees of banking on these this half miles. All the fastest half mile in the world. I think Winchester in Indiana tries to say they are, but regardless, it's been concrete for as long as I can remember. Prior to that, it was asphalt. One of the few NASCAR night races that they had that was regular on the schedule before just about every race became a night race eventually. There is Action Jackson slotting in at the back there in the EOL because he is the shotgun driver. Field is under the command of Skip Gandy. On the outside is John Kane, and we are getting ready to go racing in the first of 2 heat races. Green flag. Oh, Skip Gandy, huge jump. Gandy in the 1 all by himself. Darling right behind him. And Lemieux right behind him. What happened to Kane? Kane is stuck on the outside. He is getting freight trained at the moment. Five to go on this first of 2 heat races. Gandy all by himself. He has a second lead on Darling. At this point, just hit your marks there, buddy. You're going to get yourself a feature win, or excuse me, a heat race win. Oh, he'd love a feature win. Him and his new sponsors, I'm sure. 3 to go, 2 to go now at the line. This is going to be a quick one. I like it. These guys are getting organized pretty quick. White flag in the air. Gandy down the backstretch. Down in the turn 3, into turn 4. Off of the corner. And, well, you know what I'm going to say? An easy dub for Skip Gandy. There's Chuck Darling in P2, Michael Lemieux in P3, Ryan Smith in P4, and Drew Cox make up your top 5. All right, so let's line them up for the next one, shall we? It is doubleheader night tonight on the big network. As over on another stream, currently the boss man Matt is calling the opener for the Reddit IndyCar League, where they are down to about 16 laps to go at Homestead, and one of my teammates in another league has the lead. So, check out some IndyCar action. Check that out on the channel. So in this one, we have Edwards, Henry, Harvey, Pruitt, Rogers, Peyton, Papanow, Fleury, Cottle, Payne, DeMeester, and Beasley. And I believe we are getting, someone went to the back there. I'm not sure who that was. Beasley? that Henry? Not sure which one that is, but let's get on our pole sitter there, Brett Edwards, the Racing Electronics number 52. That's Chris Harvey. There it is in the number 97 Mopar EOL. Maybe just taking a safe run at it. There he is, warming up the tires. And maybe taking a safe run at the, not sure why I got an EOL. Might be an optional one, but just going to take a safe run at this particular race. Getting ready to go. Brett Edwards, I believe in his first race. Actually, both Edwards and Henry on the front row. First race in the series. Here we go. Wow, and he makes him way to the green. The field really backs up. Hot on his tail is Tim Rogers in the 21 and that Wood Brothers recreation from last week's throwback race. I'm glad he kept it. Trying to slide in the P3 is Eric Papanow in that Petty scheme. He was not in last week's race. I'm glad he brought it out for this week. On the high side, here comes Nathan Henry. Seems to be making that high side work. Also making that high side work is looking number 13, Josh Cottle. Henry sticking a nose out front in the Valpo car. As we got 3 distinct lines around this place, folks. This is awesome. Oh, we got a caution on the track, and I believe it is David Payton. Oh, my goodness. Let's see what he has as we had caution with 3 to go. What happened here? Checks up a little bit and gets a little help from Mr. Payne. I believe that that's just a racing incident. I'm not quite sure that was very intentional. We'll see here, but it does unfortunately put Payton back at the end of the queue here. It's Edwards, Henry, Rogers, Papanow, Cottle, Fleury, Payton. Actually, Payton now has moved to the back as we recycle the running order here. Yeah, Nathan Henry, Tim Rogers, Brett Edwards, Eric Papanow, Josh Cottle, Nick Fleury, Andrew Payne, Richard Pruitt in that Jeff Gordon Pepsi scheme. That's really cool looking. Chris Harvey, Jamie Beasley, and John the Meester and David Payton will be in the final position. We should be going back to green here relatively soon. Not much to talk about here as I line up. These cautions are really long here at these short tracks. They need to shorten these things up if they can. Still under caution. As you know, Bristol Motor Speedway sits here in Bristol, Tennessee, right there on the border. Considered itself the world fastest half mile. Kind of nestled into a valley area, so it kind of gets the name Thunder Valley. Not unlike Thunder Valley at Mid-Ohio, though. Place been open since 1961. That's how long it has been, but it's quite possibly one of the more modern NASCAR tracks on the schedule. And as of course you know, this year they did take up dirt racing to mixed results. I was not a fan of it. Let's put it that way. It didn't work for me. One to go. But dirt racing does have its place in the history of NASCAR and for IndyCar, for that matter. Championship Trail for IndyCar used to be solely dirt back in the day. So we are going to go a single file restart, I believe, here with 3 to go. Henry with the defensive high position up against the wall. Getting ready to go green. It's a good jump this time. He is off and away. Him and Rogers have kind of broken away already from the main pack. Behind him is Edwards and Papanow. They're fighting for third spot. But we will keep an eye here on the top 2 at the moment. 2 laps to go. Rogers making up some major ground there, using the low line, sending it in. Henry looks like he adjusts his line a little bit. Oh, and they finished. There it is. That's why he sent it full blast. You know, the ticker doesn't seem to update fast enough. I always think that there's one more lap than it really needs to be. We'll work on that. So we have reached the 5-minute practice warm-up before tonight's main feature. There is Chuck Darling as he's starting to make some warm-up laps. Oh, and finds the backstretch wall. So while everyone wants to know the point situation, here we go. These are your top 10 in points after, for this week at Bristol. Brett Hahn is your current points leader, 27 points over Andrew Payne. Josh Cottle with 2 wins this season is in P3, and reminder, he missed a race. Eric Papanow missed last week, but still in the top 5. He is in P4 with 58 behind the leader, and hot on his heels is Tim Rogers, just 1 point behind in P5. Not too far behind both of these is David Payton in P6, only 61 behind. Nick Fleury with a win this season is 72 behind in P7. Seth Harrelson in the 98 behind. I do not see Seth in tonight's lineup, so that's going to be costly to him in the championship run. Mike Witt, 104 behind in P9, and Justin Hazlitt, I do not see him in tonight's lineup, so he may fall out of the top 10. Other winners this year have been Sean Hayes at Lanier, Jackson Lewis with the 2 wins at Irwindale and North Wilkesboro, and Dylan Canova at Southern National. Here is the schedule for the American Sim Racing Club, presented by Luke Oil and their Frito-Lay Super Late Model Series, a remainder schedule of the season. We are currently at the Bristol Motor Speedway there on June 2nd right there. And then we only have 4 more rounds, including tonight. So we got tonight, then the Langley Speedway next week, the road course at Lime Rock, and then the finale at Nashville Super Speedway. So it's still pretty much wide open. No one in the points championship has a insurmountable lead that will prevent anybody from climbing to the top, with provided that no misfortune impacts anybody. Got a minute 45 left in this 5-minute warm-up before we line up for tonight's feature. As you see, we will have 150 laps tonight. And it may go by quick. It may go by quick. We will see. 150 laps here in Bristol will go by, just 30 laps go by at a snap of the fingers. Papanow currently leading the 5-minute practice session warm-up here, 14.8. Payne with the 14.850, Darling 14.876. Ethan Goot right there in front of Eric Papanow. "30 seconds left in this session before we line up and go racing." Join us on Thursdays with the Reddit IndyCar League's Turbo Series, the Daredevil Brewery Turbo Series, as we will do 67 laps, 100 miles there at Homestead tomorrow night, the PM18s. It should be a big draft show tomorrow night here on Race First. Join us. That is it for the session. It is up. Papanow is your fast man. Will that pace carry over? We're getting ready to line up. Here we go. Gridding up here as we're taking a look at the field. We'll have 25 cars in the lineup tonight. Another nice showing. Brett the Jet, Abinameyer. That is that is Nick Fleury there on the rear quarter panel there. Admin admirer. I don't know if somebody lost a bet or somebody's trying to send a message. I don't know. Get back up to the front as Skip Gandy here has a field under the command. Nathan Henry's kind of lagging back a little bit there, and Tim Rogers, the kid up in the old nudge, saying, "Come on, let's line them up." So that's Valpo, I believe that's the University of Valpo, and I believe that's the Crusaders there. And their head basketball coach, Bryce Drew, actually went to high school with my wife. We're getting ready to go green, 150 laps. Night's feature. And if Gandy starts it off anything like it was before in the heat race, he will be not wasting any time to get her up to speed. The field is under his control. They are in turn 4. And green flag, great jump, and that's exactly what he gets. Going into turn 1, followed by Henry and Darlene. Oh, we're spinning off the corner there. Papanow gets it back under control, but at very costly. Track position lost right there. Go back up to the front. Tim Rogers worked his way up. He is now looking underneath Henry. Going to try to get off that, get through that position for P2. There he goes. Set sail for the leaders. Look at Nick Fleury making his way up. Already up 4 spots. Not wasting any time there. A little bit more of a easier negotiating oval to negotiate tonight there, Nick. 3 corners at Pocono and an IndyCar is quite the challenge. Here's Chuck Darling with Ryan Smith right on his back bumper. Smith is underneath him. In fact, Smith is going to get the position. You're under caution, and not quite sure. It might be Beasley. Let's check it out here real quick as we are at caution on lap 8. Okay, so it is Beasley and the 97. As we will get a better look here. Of Chris Harvey there. Okay, that's what happened. Okay. Harvey a little into the wall. Beasley runs up into him, fortunately. And, well, it's going to make these 2 guys a night a little bit longer as they're going to go to the back and they're going to have some damage. Let's pick up back here on live television here. Go back up to the front. Skip Gandy leading lap 9. It has actually led every single lap so far, leading lap 9 of 150. Chuck Darling has actually taken a moment to hit the pits early. Not sure why, what's going on there. Maybe he had some damage he wants to get looked at. Put up an awful lot of track position. Still in the pits. Something is wrong. Chris Harvey making his way down pit road. Probably still too early to get that extra set of tires. Everybody just remember there is an extra set of tires these guys have in the pits. These Hoosier tires are very durable though. We have seen Eric Papanow in fact go 2 straight races without making a single pit stop. Not on the exact same set of tires over those 2 races, but those Hoosier tires lasted a whole race each. That's what we're getting at. There is your leader, Skip Gandy. And we should be coming up to 1 to go here rather quickly. Chuck Darling has the purple lap at a 14.8. I'm not sure what happened with him. But we are now lining up for the restart. Again, I'm suspecting Gandy will probably make very quick work of the restart and try to pull out and get a nice lead. This track seems to agree with his style. The iRacing pace truck is off, leaving tread marks as it goes down the banking. Green flag in the air. Skip Gandy gets a jump. It's Gandy and Rogers Fleury into turn 1. Rogers, a little how's about you to the rear end there of Skip Gandy. Also making a big time move is Drew Cox. Look at that. Caution, caution, caution on the racetrack. Nathan Henry? Oh, wow. One of our early contenders. And he goes right to toe. Oh. He checks up a little bit. Oh. And gets collected by Ryan Smith, and the 52 hits him, and the 931 hits him. And he's like, I am out. So, oh, there he goes. He's just flashing. So hopefully he's back underway, but we are back under caution at lap 16. Tell you what, with the way these tires are rapidly getting worn out, that 14.8 by Darling set fairly early is probably going to stay until those next pit stops come through. Danny is your leader. Tim Rogers currently P2 up 2 positions. Nick Fleury P3 up 5. Drew Cox P4 up 5. Ryan Smith was involved in the last incident. I don't know if he'll get an EOL or not. I'm not sure, but right now he is showing in P5 with 2 positions gained. I do see Darling back on the track. I don't know if he's getting a lap back or what. Yeah, Ryan Smith is getting an EOL, as currently he is making his way back. He might be getting a force to drive through pit road, I'm not sure. So that will move Josh Cottle up to P5. He's up 5 spots. Brett the Jet in the Admin Admirer sponsored number 71. He's up 7 spots in P6. Daniel Parmalee up 4 in P7. Michael Lemieux down 3, but still in the top 10 at P8. Eric Papanow had that one little moment, recovered, still in the top 10 at P9, down 3 spots. Jackson Lewis, man, he is up 11. He is your big gainer right now at the moment. He is in P10. We're going to go 1 lap to green here. Race control tells them to line up. We will watch Nick Fleury on this restart here. Brad Edwards, Darling, Henry, Smith, and Harvey are the only cars to make pit stops right now. Showing Darling and Harvey have switched to their second set of tires. Getting ready to go green here, coming to lap 21. Another good start by Skip. Oh! Cottle gets into the back of Fleury. Fleury gets down on the apron, recovers. Cottle lets him get back in. That's a good sportsmanship, but it's going to cost Fleury some positions as Drew Cox makes up 1. And Brett Hahn actually is the big gainer there. I think he made up 2 spots on that restart. He's in open air all by himself. Up to the front, Tim Rogers and your leader, Skip Gandy, are side by side. Drew Cox trying to find which way should I go. And we saw him doing, earlier in the race, we saw him using 3 distinct lines here. Not sure if they're going to venture into that territory quite yet this early, as they're coming only to lap 25. We will stay right here. This is where the action is with the leaders. A fight, 3-way battle for first place. Slowly sneaking in is your point leader, Brett the Jet. Leaders are getting in the line here. This yellow, we are caution again. Not quite sure who. I only saw one person fall. Might have been happening out. Let's see here. Might not have been him. Not quite sure who the result of that caution was. We're back watching it live. Tim Rogers giving the pump fake like he's going to pit here. Lucky Dog wave around for the 59 as he gets back on the lead lap. Again, not sure what the cause of this particular caution is. It might have been Demeester. Might have been Demeester. I'm not quite sure. We'll jump back in time and follow him here. Or is he just standard pit? Oh, there is the cause of the caution. Eric Hahn. There it is. Like, maybe a little help from the 931, I don't know, but he climbs the wall, and there is the reason for a caution. So we are back on live TV. We will see if that causes an EOL penalty or not. We are lap 31 now of 150. Your top 5 currently is Skip Gandy, Tim Rogers, Drew Cox, Brett Hahn, and Nick Fleury. I'm currently only showing a couple out at the minute. Ryan Smith currently showing as out. That might have been a park there. Not sure what's going on there. Won the green. I think they're going single file this time around. Watch Drew Cox as this field comes up to speed. Good jump there by Gandy again, and we are back on the way. Green flag. Gandy, Rogers, Cox, Hahn, and Fleury all breaking away here in the top 5. Ooh! Ooh! There's a caution right there. And you just saw it. Drew Cox climbs the wall coming out of 4. Unfortunately, it looks like Brett Hahn got a little bit of contact. There you see the front end of his car is rumpled a little bit there. The admin admirer Mopar. I wonder if that's going to impact him or not. We're going to have an overheating car, not going to have good aero. Aero is not a big thing here. We'll see, though. They are moving quite a bit, moving very fast. That's what I mean. So we are back under caution very quickly again. Now we see Josh Cottle enter the top 5, as your top 5 is Gandy, Rogers, Fleury, Hahn, and Cottle, with Hahn nursing a wounded car at the moment. A little bit further back, we got Mike Witt in P6, Jackson Lewis in P7, Michael Lemieux in P8, Eric Papanow hanging on the P9 there after having a little incident, or moment, let's put it that way. Andrew Payne in the race first car, new paint job he's got going on there, is in P10. Shortly a little bit behind him is Daniel Parmalee in P11, David Payton in P12, Jamie Beasley in 13th, Roger Pruitt in that Gordon scheme there, and P14, and Leo Loritz in P15. While we're still parading under caution here, Brett Edwards P16. Got John Kane in the 931 P17. Chuck Darling currently still with the fast lap of the night. Not sure what happened to him. He's down 15 spots. Had an extended pit stop. I'm not sure exactly, but he is on the lead lap though in P18. P19 is Nathan Goot. John DeMeester is P20. Nathan Henry is P21 after starting up front. Drew Cox in P22 after being up as high as P4 there just a second ago. Chris Harvey in P23. Eric Hahn, extended pit stop right now in P24, and Ryan Smith currently showing out of, well, he's actually on the track now, so he is 11 laps down. Wonder maybe he's having connection issues. Not a start, not a park. But we're back up front. Skip Gandy is your leader. He's liking these, well, I don't know. I can't personally say he's liking these caution laps. But you know, these are basically free laps for him to kind of parade around. Every time they cause a caution, it looks like it's going to be about 5 to 6 laps that you can just tack on top of his tally. You're going 1 to green, though. Lights are out on the iRacing pace truck. Hope everyone had a great Memorial Day weekend. I'll tell you a little bit about my Memorial Day. Got to witness a little bit of history. Fields under control, Skip Gandy. And we have green flag in the air. Tim Rogers sticking with Gandy this time, not letting them get away. The whole top 6 are lined up. Tim taking a look underneath Skip, not going to be able to get his nose in there. He is faster on the exit, but he is not able to get the nose by the quarter panel. Here, caution again is Leo Loritz. And pushes into the wall. Almost collects to 52. Little dodging there, evasive maneuvers. Maneuver. Leo Loritz does recover. They'll have to go into the pits and probably have a little damage banged out there, and the Luke Oil, Luke Transport there, livery he's got going on in the 108 in Skip Gandy. 43 laps. Tim Rogers taking a pump fake here, see if anyone's going to follow him down pit road. No takers. Now, this also can be strategic, as the 97 is getting his lap back. I've done this before in IndyCar racing, where you take the lower line under caution, and it's a shorter way around, so you save on fuel. What he might be doing there is, on a flatter portion of the racetrack, maybe not, maybe saving his tires, maybe? Somebody's on pit road, revving him up. Oh, there's Leo Lawrence. Flash bulbs are popping here in Bristol. Who uses flash bulbs still? Leo Lawrence is underway in the field. Go back up front. Skip Gandy has led every single lap. In fact, I believe he's led every single lap tonight and every single lap that he had in his heat race. Don't quote me on that. Rogers might have been racing them there and maybe got a bumper across during that period, but lights are still on the pace truck. Hopefully we are not looking at an evening of iPacing, folks. Not want to see that. We've actually had some pretty good green flag runs the last couple weeks. So it left me hopeful for tonight that we would see a pretty good run of, eventually, you know, it would be really cool to see in this league would be green flag pit stops. I'm not quite sure we'll ever see that one, but that would be cool to see. Daniel Parmalee's doing a little flashing out there. It's throwing off my timing and scoring. We're getting ready to go green here with Gandy leading the field, and now has control of the field. And we're getting ready to go green at lap 47. Big jump, good lead. He is barreling off into turn one. Tim Rogers, Fleury right behind him. Hey, despite getting that big jump, Rogers has kind of gained right back up. And he's right there. A little bit of a wiggle for Fleury coming off a 2. Rogers trying to figure out what is the best approach to get around. He's going to go try the high side. The second he tries the high side, there he goes, getting the run off a 2. Down the backstretch in the 3. He's going to have the momentum. He's going to get the position and leads off a 4. There's your new leader, Tim Rogers. Wow, let's take a look back at P5. Here comes Jackson Lewis, who is sailing on the top side. He's just going to follow Nick Fleury right on by Skip Gandy. Skip Gandy has now lost 4 spots. Here comes Brett at the jet. He's trying to protect from Brett. Puts Brett into the wall a little bit. Brett recovers. And allows Cottle to get around Brett. Oh, Fleury gets a little bit of sparks coming off a corner exit. It's going to allow Jackson Lewis to get underneath him. This is a battle for P2. Still battling with Fleury. Fleury's holding him off at the moment. Started lap 55. Still got a ways to go. Was taking a look on the inside. Doesn't quite have the momentum to take the position away from Fleury. These cars are slowly moving up the banking. Brett Hahn has recovered. He is now P4. He's starting to make up the difference here. Jackson Lewis slides up to the wall. He's using every bit of that cushion up there. So the question does beg to be asked. Do you try to go, or do you conserve a little bit at this point, considering you still have just a little less than 100 laps to go? Doesn't look like he is concerned at all, as he is underneath Fleury. Fleury has momentum coming off of the high side of the corner, gets the position back. And what's going on here is that Fleury is not nearly using his tires as aggressively as Lewis. Slowly sneaking into the picture with his wounded car is Brett Hahn. Mike Witt is also starting to make an appearance here in the top 5. Gotta ask Brett if he gets on the podium, did he lose a bet? Inside dive. Aggressive full send by Jackson Lewis. Side by side with Nick Fleury. Nick is going to have the momentum, still holds the position. With that aggressive full send, it opens the door for Brett Hahn. Brett Hahn on the outside of Jackson Lewis. Lewis is pinned down to the inside. He's not going to have the momentum and loses the position. Bit of a gamble did not pay off there for Jackson Lewis. We're starting to get a bit of a green flag run here. The high side is definitely the way to go. Eric Papanow up to 6th place. This is the place to watch, though, with these leaders so close together. Rogers, Fleury, Hahn, Lewis, all separated by less than a second. Jackson not giving up on that low line, sticking with it. Starting to make an appearance, though, is Mike Witt. He is 1.2 behind this group. Here comes the Jet looking underneath Nick Fleury. I think Jackson's going to follow him through. Oh, he gets up on the side of Nick. He has to check up a little bit, gives the position to Lewis, and we are caution. We are caution on the racetrack. Caution on the racetrack. Not sure who it is. Might be Eric Hahn. Not sure. He was down on pit road. I'm not sure. We're going to find out what happened there. So I think we have a phantom caution. Things again happening so quick here on the racetrack. Hard to really keep up sometimes. That was a great run. Now we are in a position where the leaders, they are halfway. They are coming up to halfway. Do they pit or do they stay out? And a whole bunch have already opted to go down pit road. Cottle, Parmalee, Beasley, Lemieux, Cox, Kane, Darling, Harvey, the Meester, all pitting at lap 71. So we will let the we will let timing and scoring shake out, and we will watch those that just made the pit stop and to see how they make their way through this field with the fresh tires. Is track position a thing, or are tires going to be the great equalizer? Leo Loritz making a pit stop on lap 72. Jamie Beasley at lap 72. Yeah, as they came around, they were in the pits on lap 71 as they came around to the front stretch pits. They had showed them pitting at lap 72. So 72 is the magic number. And Jamie Beasley looks like he is the highest of the new tire group. That is right, cha. He's in P13. P11 is Nathan Henry, and when he made his pit stop, he put on his new set of tires. So he's on newer tires as well, just not as new as the cars behind him, but he is definitely newer than what's in front of him. We're getting ready to go green. Get back up to the front, and we will go back to Jamie Beasley here as soon as we get underway. One of the ones we're going to have to watch is Josh Cottle back there in P18, P19. Green flag is in the air, and there goes Tim Rogers to the front. Jackson Lewis is not going to waste time this time. Rogers to the top to defend. We're halfway. Jackson to the top again. This time he's going to have the position. He's going to have the momentum, and he's going to probably pull this pass off coming out of corner number 4. Up 20 spots. Amazing. There's Jamie Beasley. He's already made up 2 spots, started on P13. He's still tracking down Nathan Henry with the new tires. Probably going to get under him here in a little bit, or he could just be saving them for later in the race. Jackson Lewis, once he broke away, he's starting to pull away a little bit. Jamie Beasley up to P8. Again, we're watching this. He's moving on up. Made his way around Peyton. Now he's going to make his way around Witt. Now he's looking on the back bumper of Gandy. New tires rule. Look at that. He's got to get these positions now. He's got to get these positions now. Good of these tires are going to wear off. And then these guys are going to pit, and they're going to have good tires. So Beasley up to P6, and right in front of him is we got a jam with Rogers, Fleury, Hahn, and Papineau. Where does one go? Abadow decides to go down low. Right along with Rogers there. Fleury and Hahn are going to stay up high. In just a little bit, Beasley is going to be right in the middle of this battle. Brett Edwards, one of the ones that just pitted, he is moving on up. He's in P8. Brad Hahn moves to P3. Tim Rogers is starting to fall back. Beasley and Edwards. Lemieux also moving on up. Parmalee moving on up. These are all guys with new tires. I think they're going to hit the same bit of a wall that the rest of these guys are, although Beasley is look like he is immediately right behind Tim Rogers. Here we go. Again, needs to pull these passes off quickly before the good of these tires wear off. He still only has 17 laps on these tires, while everyone else around them has close to 90 laps now. He's able to power through the center of the corner. Doesn't quite pull off the pass. Will probably do it here in the next lap or so. Right behind him is the 52. Brett Edwards. I'm showing 45 on timing and scoring, but 52 on the racetrack. But Beasley moves up to the top 5. This might have been a smart move. This might have been a really smart move. We go a long green run, they're just going to continue to come back to him. The rest of that group, Edwards, Lemieux, Parmalee, they're all climbing up together. Go back and take a look at what's going around Tim Rogers. That's where all these new cars, or these new tire cars, are currently making their way around. '96 of 150 in the books. Doing a car on pit road. That is Leo Loritz. Your top 5 is Jackson Lewis, Nick Fleury, Brett Hahn, Eric Papanow, and now Jamie Beasley. And up to Jamie Beasley, who is the first of those cars that pitted at lap 72 for new tires. They're starting to wear off a little bit, but he is still undeniably, these tires are much newer than what's in front of him. Right with him is Brett Edwards, who's looking for a way around, and he's in his first race this week with the league. Let's go back up to the leader here, Jackson Lewis. He's basically almost checked out as he's riding that middle line around turns 3 and 4. Getting ready to start lap 101, completing of 150 to go. He continues to pull away. 1.2 second lead. Let's go through the field, shall we? First, P1, Jackson Lewis up 20 spots here. P2, get the camera to go. Nick Fleury there, holding off your points leader, Brett Hahn. Eric Papanow working his way back up through the top 10. Behind him, the first of the cars that pitted at lap 72, Jamie Beasley. P6, Brett Edwards. He's also pitted on the lap 72. Tim Rogers led for a bit and has now fallen back a little bit. He is now in P7. Here's Michael Lemieux in P8 in his first week in the series. Daniel Parmalee, he's in P9. Andrew Payne, a little bit ways back there in P10, followed by Drew Cox recovering from a mid-race incident. Took him back out of the top 5. P12 is Mike Witt, who's fallen back since the restart on the older tires. Chuck Darling recovering from an extended pit stop. Again, we're not really sure why and what happened, but he is recovering. He currently is your purple lap holder at the moment. P14, actually now P13 is Nathan Henry. He currently is in a battle with Witt. David Payton, P15. Josh Cottle, I'm not quite sure what's going on with him. He got the new tires. He might be damaged, not sure. Just kind of hovering here in P16, one of the points leaders. Skip Gandy, your early leader, sporting some damage. He's now in P17, riding that high line. Richard Pruitt, currently showing P18. Excuse me, P20 actually. Chris Harvey, P17. Nathan Goot, P19. John the Meester, P21. John Kane, P22. Battle for position right here. Theo Loritz, P23, going to pit road one more time. Eric Hahn having a rough night, but P24 and still rolling. Currently 24 cars still running, 21 are on the lead lap. There is your leader, Jackson Lewis, 113, 114 now of 150 as this run is rapidly ticking away. Will the patience of these drivers hold on, or will we see an extended green run to the finish? I might have just jinxed it, but there you go. There's your leader. Battle really is right here for P2. Eric Papanow has made his way up to now P3 as he's worked his way around Brett Hahn. Brett Edwards now has worked his way around Jamie Beasley, and he is now in P5. We're getting to the point that if there's not going to be a caution here soon, that these guys up front might be having to live with what they have for tires. They might not have time to, oh, Eric Hahn getting out of the way there. His lap traffic's coming, or he's lap traffic and the leaders come around him. Again, this is kind of the same situation we've seen Papanow and others in before, where they're just up front with the leaders for so long, and then realize so late into the run that they aren't able to pit really, otherwise they give up a ton of track position. If I would have known better, these guys are really looking like they're trying to work together. They don't seem to be running, really racing each other, but as I say that, Netcode pushes around Nick Fleury, and we are under caution. That had to be Netcode. That really had to be Netcode. I did not see any type of contact. Yes, that is one of the worst case of Netcodes I've ever seen. That takes out Brett Hahn. Going to take out Michael Lemieux. That was a costly net code, unfortunately. Fleury hangs on. He is in P5. Will he stop, though? You do have time. So Jackson Lewis, Eric Papanow, Brett Edwards, Jamie Beasley, Nick Fleury is going to hit pit road. Jackson Lewis is hitting pit road. Eric Papanow is hitting pit road. So here come all the leaders. They're going to have to fight through these guys that all pitted on lap 72. Keep an eye on our leader right now. Will not be the leader as a result of the stop. Is everybody's in that didn't stop earlier. That makes your leader, Brett Edwards, in his first race with the league, and the lead, with coming to shortly. We got a little over 25 laps to go. So this entire group right here, Edwards, Beasley, Parmalee, Cox, they all pitted at 72, got new tires then. Nathan Henry in P5 pitted at lap 44, got new tires then, so he has the oldest tires of this group. The first car with the newest tires is going to be Jackson Lewis in P7. And I'm gonna say that there's gonna be 25 or less than 25 laps to go here to decide this race, and he is going to be let's say making a little haste as possible moving through this field. It'll be really interesting to watch him. Meantime, we do got to keep an eye on the leaders and see what happens up in the top 5. But the guy to watch is going to be Jackson Lewis in P6, or P7, excuse me. Now 25 to go, as we've just taken the start of lap 25. We're going to go green next time by. Starting to get white knuckles, sweaty palms, into the witching hour. We're lining up to go racing. That was a great stint by those guys. 25 laps to go. Will the patience of the guys with the new tires pay off? Beasley and Edwards playing restart games with each other. Beasley's making Edwards really slow. Now he takes off again. Again, another slow restart on his part, but strategically it works because Parmalee has all of a sudden come up and filled a hole that, oh, and they're wrecking off of 2. They're wrecking off of 2. And that is Brett Hahn. Oh, we're just all over the place back here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And I think it starts with Nick Fleury. I'm not sure, but I think it starts with Nick Fleury. We're going to see here. Get the restart. Gets on the inside. Oh. Oh. That's, oh. And it just stacks up behind. Oh. Oh. Oof. Papanow. On. Oh. Just not a good day. Not a good day for all these guys now. After getting fresh tires, they gotta hope that their sheet metal is not going to prohibit them from is bent up too much, and not going to prohibit them from trying to make their way up aero-wise. But that leaves Brett Edwards in the lead. Now with less than 25 to go, coming up to 129 to start. So it's Edwards, Beasley, Parmalee, Cox, and Cottle. Rogers got around Lewis. He is the first car with new tires. It's Lewis, Witt, Payton, Goot, Harvey, and now Gandy. Gandy, Darling, Pruitt. And then you start getting into those drivers that were involved in the wreck. Fleury, Papanow, Lemieux, Payne, Hahn. Unfortunately, they have dropped to the end of this group that all pitted at lap 123. What can I say here, folks? We're going to come down to an exciting finish. Looks like Payne and Hahn should get the wave around here. The FYI, Nick Fleury has a couple of big guys in his pit looking out for him tonight. Tread lightly. Hey, we're huge friends of Nick Fleury, man. He's my teammate in IndyCar. Not gonna hear a nasty word from me about Nick Fleury. We're lining up to go racing one more time. We're less than 20 laps to go, 1 to go to green. It's going to be Saturday night sprints here, albeit Wednesday nights. Again, we haven't talked much, but you are watching. It's been pretty exciting, lots of action. You are watching the American Sim Racing Club by Luke Oil and their Frito-Lay Super Late Model Series. We are late in the race, starting ready to start lap 131 with the leader, Brett Edwards, taking the field to green as he gets a big jump this time, and he's well off on his own into turn 1. We want to thank you guys for joining us tonight, participating in chat. Caution, caution, caution on the racetrack. Wow, we might have Jackson Lewis. Oh my goodness. The leader, well, not the leader, but the guy that's really dominated the last 2 weeks and who led a great deal of this race, in fact, was pulling away. What happened? A better view here. Oh, Cox got into the back of, Beasley, and it turns, oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah, I hate to be race control on that one. So he's going to come in and get some damage pounded out, probably. Might not be towing right either. Getting ready to start lap 135 of 150. 15 to go. Hope we're not getting into one of those periods where we go restart caution, restart caution, restart caution, up to the point where we have to do a green-white checker, and then we go caution as soon as that starts, and then that, of course, locks the field and ends the race. So hopefully we get some good green flag racing here. Beth, we see your comment. Let us know where you're at. Let's see, Ed, at the Jet and Eric, there you go. Nick doesn't like one of the drivers for some reason. And of course, Mark's there. Stick it up for Nick Fleury. Go back up to the front, so everything's different now. It's Edwards, Parmalee, Cottle, Beasley, Cox sneaking up into this, and I got to tell you, at one point I was like, what's he doing back there? Is Josh Cottle, and I don't know if he was just playing strategy or what. I mean, he still needs to finish this race. Anything can happen. It's Bristol, and anything can happen between now and when the green flag falls. But if he makes it up into the booth for an interview, I owe this man an apology. I got to ask him what his strategy was, as he was just kind of laying on back there. Did get caught up in an incident earlier, but nothing too serious. So coming to the restart. Tim Rogers is the one to watch there. He is in the Wood Brothers number 21 throwback car, right there. He and Drew Cox have, or actually he and Mike Witt have the freshest tires. Green flag in the air. Brett Edwards has the lead. And I'm just going to watch. We're going to watch Tim Rogers here as he gets under Beasley. He's going to make quick work of this one. Beasley's holding on. Josh Cottle going for the lead. Edwards feathering. Whoa, little contact, little squirrely. Edwards running the high side, trying to get that position back. Cottle's got the inside. Edwards full sends it to the top. You can see in that in-car how much that being pinned to the inside was hurting Cottle. Caution flag. Is it Chuck Darling? Oh, Chuck Darling, yes. So, folks, I think we might see green-white checker. We'll see here. Darling, what happened? Ooh, comes on around. Don't know if that's a result of getting on the accelerator really hard or, I don't know. Or just damage resulting in bad aero and it just comes on around. It's one of those nights, unfortunately, for this guy. I've been there. So when the caution came out, Brett Edwards was your leader. Josh Cottle is P2. Daniel Parmalee now P3. Tim Rogers has managed to move up to P4. And again, he's going down to that apron again. I imagine that's to save the tires. Might be cooler down there, not sure. But as being an IndyCar driver, that I've seen guys with 4,500 I ratings when under caution riding that low line, sometimes riding on the apron just to save fuel and also save those tires so they can go a couple extra laps than everyone else. I firmly believe that maybe he's doing something very similar. Never seen it done in these cars, but I'm learning something new every week. Again, if you're just joining us, this is Race Versus coverage of the American Sim Racing Club by Luke Oil and their Frito-Lay Super Late Model Series. We got 7 to go. It's been an exciting night. Thank you for joining us. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe us on YouTube. We've had a busy night here at Raceverse. We've had a doubleheader. You're watching the Super Late Models at Bristol, and we had IndyCars with the Reddit IndyCar League at Homestead. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock or so, actually 7:30, we will probably have the green flag of the Reddit IndyCar League's Daredevil Brewery Turbo Series, which is a PM18 feeder series for the Reddit League. And they will also be at Homestead, and that should be an interesting race because those cars that will be a pack race for sure with the way those cars handle and with that aero package. And I will be broadcasting that race tomorrow night. Before we get going here next week, we are going to Langley Speedway for 175 laps. Don't go anywhere. We got 5 here. If there's anything that's going to happen in this time frame, then it's going to be green, white, checker. And then, if anything happens then, the race is done. Edwards, Cottle, Parmalee, Rogers, Payton, Witt, Beasley, Harvey, Gandy, Papanow are your top 10. Pace truck is off. Field is under the control of Brett Edwards. Josh Cottle tried to get a bit of a jump. He actually timed that perfectly, and he's on the high side. He's going to fight for this position big time. Cottle to the high side, going to pull the position off. Here comes Tim Rogers with those new tires up high. He still has time to pull this thing off. He's going to come alongside, side by side at the start-finish line, going into 1. He has a high line in 1 and 2. He's going to have the momentum going down the backstretch into turn 3. Cottle's not going to let him really pull off that pass too smoothly. Here goes Tim Rogers. High line rules. And he's going to pull that pass off. Not too far behind is Mike Witt. We're running out of time. Final lap. Coming off of corner number 4 for his first win of the year in the Wood Brothers throwback, it is Tim Rogers. Josh Cottle and Mike Witt are your podium. Wow. Great run. Great run. If he does some victory donuts. Yeah, do some donuts there, man. You've earned some. All right. Let's take a look at the way we finished. And an exciting finish there. Your podium is Tim Rogers, Josh Cottle, and Mike Witt. Your top 5 is Brett Edwards and Daniel Parmalee. Your top 10, David Payton, Eric Papanow, Chris Harvey, Nick Fleury, and Brett Hond. Your top 15, Jamie Beasley, Nathan Good, Andrew Payne, Skip Gandy, and Michael Lemieux. Your top 20, Richard Pruitt, John Kane, Chuck Darling, John DeMeester, and Nathan Henry. Your top 25, Drew Cox, Jackson Lewis, unfortunately relegated to 22nd after a strong day. Leo Loritz in 23rd. Eric Hahn in 24th, and Ryan Smith in 25th. Polish victory lap going on right now. Let the man enjoy his win. Your big gainer of the day was Witt with 14 spots, as well as David Payton. And the purple lap went to Chuck Darling early in the race. All right, let's get into the podium interviews. Let's bring down Mike Witt here.
User was moved to your channel.
Mike Witt, congratulations, P3. How thankful are you for putting on those new tires at lap 123?
Oh man, so thankful. I'm just glad it worked out because I was kind of hating my decision not taking them when the other guys did. But man, if that caution hadn't come out, I would have been completely just down because I had worked that the whole race, man.
Well, yeah, it definitely all paid off, and looks like the high side was the place to be tonight, was it not?
Yeah, that the high side was definitely where the speed was. Plus, I tried to get up there early just because the bottom was just eating it up so bad. So on that last pit stop, I took four, no fuel. I know trying to get a lighter car up in that top groove, I knew that maybe I could make some moves right here at the end. And man, it worked out. It worked out.
Were you holding your breath in that last couple lap sprint right there?
Yeah, definitely, man. I got into the wall once, but I just kept the pedal to it, man. There's just no other way around it. I had to.
Well, there you have it, keeping his foot in it. A great podium. Like you said, getting those tires at that right time. You kind of were just hanging around the mid pack all night, and then you get those tires and get the super sticky there, and all of a sudden you're right up at the top, and then your first podium of the year. So congrats there. Shout outs. Anybody you like to talk to?
Yeah, man, definitely. I want to appreciate you guys at Race First, man. You guys do a phenomenal job, and so I wanted to definitely tell you guys thank you for what you do coming on board with us this year, our first season. It's a huge deal for us, man. And also, I want to thank Frito Lay, Pepsi, Luke Quick Time, all the guys here. American Sim Racing Club, and anybody that's out there watching, you looking for a good league, I'm telling you, it's super competitive. And dude, when you get a top three, when you get third place, and you're as happy as I am, yeah, it's a good league, man. So appreciate you guys
Third place almost as good as a win tonight.
for sure.
Well, congrats on the podium, and we will see you next week when the tour moves on to our next stop, which I think is Langley.
Yes, can't wait for Langley. I've been working on it too. Bristol and Langley has been too. It's been on my radar. So maybe next week I'll be talking to you from the number one spot.
Fair enough. We'll go ahead and put it in pencil just in case. So, congratulations on the P3, and we hope to definitely see you next week at Langley.
All right, buddy. Thank you, man.
User was moved out of your channel.
All right, let's get Josh Cottle down here. I can find him. There he is.
User was moved to your channel.
Josh Cottle, P2, man, I owe you a huge apology because there was one point in the race you were back at like P19, and I'm like, I'm going through the field. I'm like, what is this guy doing? Does he have a problem? It just didn't look like that you were kind of on the pace with everyone else, and I don't know if it was just a measured strategy or what, but I owe you an apology because all of a sudden, bam, new tires, and then you're all of a sudden up here in the on the podium position, and a good points night for you, nevertheless, because the points leader had a bit of a rough time tonight. But my apologies to you, man.
You're good, man. That was a crazy finish. First of all, I'd like to say nice win by Tim. My strategy just wasn't it.
Well, tell us about that strategy. I know that you, like I said, you were hanging around the mid pack for a lot of the night. Then finally, you got that pit stop, and you and that whole group of other cars, I think included Beasley for one that I remember, and you just kind of worked your way through the traffic on those guys with the older tires. Was that the plan, or what was the reason for kind of mainly for holding back into that mid pack area? Was it just because the traffic was so hard to pass?
Honestly, I felt tire wear wasn't going to be that bad, so I was like, let's just early pit and see if we can get to the front at the end. And when it started getting a long green flag run, I kind of realized it was going to be really hard on the old tires to get to the front. So I kind of just saved and hope it would work for me at the end, and it almost did.
Well, all things considered, coming back from where you started and kind of hovering in the mid packs and in the mid race there, especially when Jackson Lewis was just kind of putting a whole blitz on the field there in that mid pack or that mid part of the race. To come up to get a P2 is pretty outstanding in my mind. So next week we move on to Langley. What are your thoughts for next week?
That might be that's gonna be at the probably my hardest track. I'm so terrible with the circle bull ring type tracks, but I think it's gonna be fun and can't wait to be there next week.
Well, if memory serves me right, I think you said that once before in an interview, and then you came back and had a pretty good race the next race. So he's just sandbagging, folks. But congratulations on the P2. Shout outs. Anyone want to say hi to?
Thank you, man. I'd like to shout out y'all for doing the broadcast and all the league admins and the league sponsors. This is an amazing league for Super Late Models. If you want to race with us, love the league. HCM, me and my friend Drew, we had a decent finish. Bad luck for him, but I'm glad we could get a P2 and Total Advantage Academy.
Well, there you have it. P2, congrats. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, man.
User was moved out of your channel.
All right, and let's get tonight's winner. Tim Rogers, if we can find him here. Ah, there he is.
User was moved to your channel.
Tim Rogers, first win of the year, and you do it in the Woods Brothers livery. If you watched, if I'm not much of a NASCAR fan, but I do remember that there was not too long ago Woods Brother won that particular race, and it was a long drought that was quenched then in the real NASCAR world. I don't know when your last win was, but I'm sure that this win tastes pretty good.
Oh yeah, Gary, this win is something else, man. I'm still shaking after those last couple of laps. It's my luck on these short tracks have been not too great, and I don't really come from an asphalt short track background, and to win a race, especially at Bristol and in the Wood Brothers paint scheme, it's just awesome.
Tell us about your night. I mean, you were just unlike the other guys that were kind of in the top three here. You were just hovering around the top 10, top 5 all night long. The pace was pretty fast up there, especially when Jackson Lewis was holding the lead. What's it like to track that guy down? Were you guys, when you were just in that mid part of the race where Jackson had that huge lead, were you guys actually just kind of unspokenly working with each other, just trying to run him down or something? Because I noticed that a lot of you just kind of settled in line.
Yeah, I tell you what, Gary, that was the lead he pulled off was something else, especially after coming through the field. Tires here are everything, and I'll tell you that firsthand. My right front was down to 13%, and I dropped back like a rock. And yeah, I mean, when you gotta make a move, you gotta make it quick, or else you're gonna blow your tires off.
Well, first win. It's probably going to help you. You're also, I believe, in the top 5 in the points championship. Brett didn't have a great day. He did get a top 10, so you're going to make some ground on him in the points, so that's good. Thoughts on going to Langley next week?
I just want to survive, man. My goal in this series is just keep putting out clean races, and maybe I can put myself in a spot to win just like I did tonight.
I would say that's a solid strat. Anybody you want to say hi to, shout out to while you're here?
I just want to shout out my fellow admins for putting on a good series. I mean, this has just been a blast racing against these guys, and I just want to shout out to the other league members. They're awesome. They keep showing up. The numbers have been great. I also want to shout out Luke Oil, Frito-Lay, Pepsi Co for sponsoring us and helping us with these broadcasts. And I want to thank you, Gary, for coming out and dealing with us. I know sometimes we can't be a great watch, but thank you for broadcasting with us.
I wouldn't say I'm dealing with it, but you guys definitely are entertaining. So congrats on the P1. We'll move on next week to Langley, and maybe you can make it back to back. So congrats, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, man.
User was moved out of your channel.
All right. Well, there you have it. He's getting ready to move off there. Your top 3 again. Your podium: Tim Rogers, Josh Cottle, Mike Witt. Your top 5 is Brett Edwards and Daniel Parmalee. Your top 10: David Payton, Eric Papanow, Chris Harvey, Nick Fleury, Brett Hond. Your top 15: Jamie Beasley, Nathan Goot, Andrew Payne, Skip Gandy, and Michael Lemieux. Get on to the next page here. Your top 20: Richard Pruitt, John Kane, Chuck Darling, John DeMeester, Nathan Henry. Your top 25 is Drew Cox, Jackson Lewis, Leo Loritz, Eric Hahn, and Ryan Smith. And that's going to do it. Again, we'll take a look at the points really quick. See, Brett is the leader. Andrew Payne, I think, had a bit of a rough night. Josh Cottle did finish in a good spot, so he's going to make some ground up on P1 and P2. Eric Papanow, I believe, also will make some ground up on P1 and P2. And Tim Rogers is going to make up the most ground there. So we might have a switch at the 4th position. We'll see when the new points come out. David Payton had a solid day. Fleury had a solid day. Seth Harrelson, who we did see in chat there, Seth, unfortunately didn't make the race. Hopefully you'll still hang on for the top 10. Mike Witt had a great day, points day. He will definitely move up there as well. Justin Hazlitt, haven't seen him in a little bit, so I don't know if they're going to hang on to the top 10 or not. Maybe we'll have a new entry into the top 10 next week. Here is the remainder of the schedule. Next week, we will go to Langley Speedway for 175 laps. Then the one I'm kind of looking forward to at Lime Rock Park. 35 laps there on the road course. I hear these things do pretty good on the road course, so I am interested to see that and call that race. And then we'll wrap up the season on the 30th with 200 laps at the Nashville Speedway. Join me tomorrow as we will be streaming and broadcasting the Reddit IndyCar League's Turbo Series, sponsored by Daredevil Brewery, and we will have our first race at Homestead, 67 laps, 100 miles there, and it's going to be a heck of a if you guys like, if you follow NASCAR and like pack racing, restrictor plate racing, that type, you're going to see the exact same thing here, except with open wheels cars. And rubbings racing in NASCAR, well, you don't want to rubbing anything in an Indy car or an open wheel car. So it's a pretty amazing race to watch these guys go at it inches from each other, knowing that one little touch can destroy a whole bunch of cars behind you and around you. So join me tomorrow as we broadcast the Turbo Series with the Reddit IndyCar Series, or Reddit IndyCar League. So that is it from Bristol. Again, like, share, and subscribe to Race First here on YouTube. Make sure to also follow us on Twitter, as well as like us on Facebook. Continue to watch this channel for other iRacing events that we'll be covering, including, of course, next week's race here in the Frito-Lay Super Late Model Series. So closing it out, thanks for watching tonight. I'm Gary Gotso. Tim Rogers wins at Bristol.